Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 142, written by Colette01. Playing ball with her friend resulted in an afternoon she can't comprehend. This happened many years ago. My friend's family and I gathered together to go enjoy a Saturday outing at the park. This park was your typical open field site, and the field is as large as 4 football stadiums. It had no playgrounds, not many trees, so you would be easily able to play catch or football. I was an active and sporty adolescent at this point, and so I decided to play a game of catch football with my friends. My friend and I decided to toss the ball around for a bit until the game began, as the rest of the gang were still settling in. Perhaps 10 minutes into the practice, my friend tossed the ball directly to me with good precision that I moved a foot to my right. But as the ball was coming towards me, I looked up, and right above me, I saw what I can describe to you as a black saucer or stealth. I'm trying to remember as it was many years ago. Mind you, I only saw the bottom of the object as I was looking north, but oddly, the object remained steady, did not move or make any noise. At this age, I knew all about UFOs, but I wanted to make certain I wasn't hallucinating any of it. As I looked back down at my friend, I told him to look up. That's when I noticed he hadn't moved. Him and everyone else were freaking frozen. I yelled to grab the attention of a family member, but no answer. The whole field had dozens of families enjoying their day. Well, were, all frozen in time. No one moved. Birds remained still in the sky. The air seemed dusty and had no scent. Now, I hadn't left my spot for the fact that I was in shock, but was surprised I was able to move my mouth and arms at all. Here's the kicker. As I looked up at the sky once again, the object that was there had now disappeared. No noise, beautiful clear blue sky, but no object. I looked back down at my friend and remained confused. Then, that's when I heard my friend say, "Hey, throw the ball." Everything went back to normal. This all happened in a matter of seconds. I quickly asked my friend if he just saw the same object as I did, stupidly expecting him to say yes. He was confused, but he knew how serious I was in that moment. I never spoke about what happened to me until years later when I mentioned it to my spouse. I don't know what happened, but I wouldn't like to ever encounter it again. Case notes, file number 142. So there was recently another UFO story, not the same type of craft you described, but the slowdown of motion in people near you. That same thing was witnessed. I wonder if this is intentional by these aliens, or were you singled out for some reason? Or if it's just a byproduct of the mind perceiving this craft that we're not yet ready to encounter. It's like in Stargate SG-1, if you ever saw that show. The ancient database downloaded into one of the members' brains, and it causes all sorts of havoc. The information is too much to process, and initially it's okay, but as the information unfolds in O'Neill's mind, it takes over him, and he loses himself. We may just not be sufficiently developed yet. My impression still remains the same, though, that I don't believe these beings intend us any harm. Case file number 143, written by melanayyylmao. An indifferent face, completely out of place. So this happened about 2 years ago or so, but it still sends chills down my spine whenever I think about it. There's a local factory that was made in 1890 and opened in 1891 as a sewing factory where people handcrafted detachable collars and cuffs. In 1999, it was repurposed as a bunch of little consignment shops throughout the whole building in each room. Today, there's still the original huge elevator shafts with rickety gated doors. Anyways, one night, me and my friend decided to go and check out one of the bookshops that just opened there. We headed downstairs, went and left to the store, and eventually took a break on one of the benches before leaving. To our knowledge, nobody else was in the building, or at least in the basement with us. So we're sitting there, and the way the bench is positioned is flat up against the wall where you can see all the way up the hallway, with the flight of stairs to our right and one of the shops to our left. While we were sitting there talking, I started feeling like this uncomfortable feeling and tried telling my friend I wanted to leave and to hurry up, because I just didn't like this feeling. He told me to calm down and that we'd leave in a minute, and the uncomfortable feeling went away. As we were about to get up and go, we saw someone come around the corner and start approaching us. We figured it was a maintenance worker, but that feeling of uncomfortableness came over me again, yet worse this time. Now, the way he turned the corner was completely unnatural. He walked to the end of the hallway, stared at the wall in front of him for a solid 5 seconds, and then turned away towards us and took a brief pause before coming our way. The way he turned the corner, though, it seemed like he just knew we were there and was completely unfazed when he saw us. I would say that's plausible, but we were being fairly quiet and the hallway was a solid 30 or 40 feet long, so we'd have to be talking decently loud for him to hear us. I went into panic mode, but my friend kept her cool. The place was still open. We weren't breaking any rules, just sitting on this bench. My friend calmly looked at him and just said, "Hi, how you doing?" And the man didn't say anything. He just kept walking towards us at a somewhat rapid pace. I remember looking him in the eyes. He had zero expression, not anger, not happiness, not confusion, not nothing. It was severely unsettling. Even after my friend said something to him, he remained completely unfazed. He was just on a mission to get to us. You'd assume if this was a maintenance worker, he'd either tell us it's time to leave, or say hi back, or something, anything. But nope, just this blank, expressionless face making his way towards us. After he didn't respond to my friend and started getting close to us, we just gave each other this "we need to go" look and sprinted out of there. When we got out of the building and down the road, the uncomfortable feeling left me and I started calming down. We didn't really talk about what just happened. We just went on our way and back to my house. Ever since that night, I haven't been back to the factory or any of the shops there. Something about that man wasn't right, and it sent chills down my spine seeing him, and it even sent chills down my spine just typing this out. I'm a firm believer of the paranormal, and I can just about guarantee whatever that was definitely wasn't human. Case notes, file number 143. So others here have suggested it could have been a serial killer, a criminal, someone generally dangerous but of the mundane spectrum. This is very possible. Though given he did nothing to both of you, my gut says it may have been a spirit. There have been many accounts now of spirits forming fully, not transparent. Perhaps he had died a century ago in the old factory, and he was just bitter about how his death transpired, and now he lingers around. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and leave any thoughts you might have down below. I always like knowing what you guys think too.